Hello everyone, how you doing? Mercury here with the message. So I have on my screen here a chart, and this chart is, if any of you have heard, Canada marches. James Topp, an army veteran, has marched across the country. He has arrived in Ottawa, but the final stretch of his march will be tomorrow to the tomb of the unknown soldier. Excuse me. However, the chart that I have is, if you look at the top left corner of this chart, where's my cursor? Here it is. Uh, Vancouver is where he left. He left on February 20th at 7:15 a.m. So this is where the planets were at that time. So I just want to, talk a little bit about this chart. I just recently did 2 videos on YouTube and a live stream talking about those videos on Facebook. Um, and so there's a little series, and I'll add the links to at least the YouTube videos in the description here. So yeah, I'm going to start with the moon, okay? Because I like where the moon's positioned, and it's not in this big cluster. So the moon is in Libra, the sign Libra, balance, right? And the moon is our intuition, but our emotions, and that's what I feel like is representing here. Now, I should almost give a little bit, more background on the events that led up to this march. So, February 14th, Justin Trudeau announced the Emergencies Act against the convoy. And from what I've come to learn, and hopefully I'm repeating this properly from watching videos of Mr. Topp speaking, that I'm not sure if he was so much, I believe he was in support of the convoy itself and felt the government wronged them. He was against the mandatory vaccinations, and so he began this march as his own way of protest, what he felt he can do in his own capacity to speak out against the government and try and bring talks on this matter. So yeah, the moon in the sign of Libra, trying to create balance, right? Libra kind of in a way is about law and order, or justice, lady liberty, lady justice. That's what I should have said. And it's in a tense aspect here to Venus and Mars, who are in a conjunction. And I remember this time Venus and Mars stayed in a rare long conjunction here. And Venus and Mars are the cosmic lovers, or the twins, female and male, so opposite polarities. And these opposite polarities, when they work good together, it's passionate, it's steamy, it's hot. But when they're in conflict, things are heated. And we could see that in Ottawa, or really in Canada. Either you were for or against the convoy, and there was a lot of heated arguments, debates. The sides were passionate about, well, at least one side, the freedom side, was passionate about what they were doing, but anyhow, it created a tenseness of emotion, this clash, and that emotion, okay, uh, is looking for justice, is looking for balance. So we could then look at this trine here. So down here we have Black Moon Lilith. I'll get to Black Moon Lilith in a minute. It's more important to talk about Saturn. Saturn actually being a planet. I'm not really sure the background on Lilith, if she's a meteor or if she's some kind of fictional point in the sky based off of some thing, like the nodes, for example. It's a fictional point in the sky, but it's based off of the ecliptic. So anyhow, yeah, Saturn is the authority, and the authority is in the sign of Aquarius, which is could be the world or large groups of people like our country, for example. So I feel like there's a balance, especially after looking at these other charts in my other videos, is giving me more insight on what to actually how to interpret this now that a lot has unfolded and we're basically right at that tipping point of the catalyst of this entire march is unfolding tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, on the other side was Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is in the sign of Gemini. Black Moon Lilith is a feminine energy. It's kind of even our shadow. And it's in the sign of Gemini, which Mercury rules. Mercury is in the sign of the people. But I was mentioning earlier that Venus and Mars are like the cosmic twins in a way. I have Venus and Mars conjunct in my birth chart, and it is one of many reasons why I use the nickname Mercury. Okay, I'm a Gemini, Virgo rising, third house moon. Those are all Gemini aspects. And then this also being a Gemini aspect. Yeah, anyways, we're not talking about my chart, we're talking about this chart. So I feel like, Gemini is kind of like the polarity, the dualities, and our shadow is our fears are kind of being worked out in this conflict of polarities of duality. Okay. What else? So I want to talk about Uranus and Jupiter. They're both at 11 degrees in a sextile. So let's talk about Uranus first, because I'll get into the entire sign of Pisces after. So yeah, Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. It's about our values. Okay. The node here, this is the direction we're headed. So we're headed in values, on the surface level, what we value. The sign of the bull often has to do with money. You see the bull on Wall Street, right? Anyhow, Uranus is about shocking change. Okay, so on the surface level, Jupiter is the biggest planet. He expands. So this is an exciting aspect here when it's called a sextile. Okay, so Jupiter expanding is exciting. This shocking change on the surface level of our values. So I looked at the convoy, what happened in Ottawa, the bouncy castles, not so much the bouncy castles, but the feeding. Everyone being fed, the garbage being picked up, the streets being shoveled. A community happened, and it didn't require any money. And to me, it really showed what is possible. Okay, if we work together, if we start believing in each other, if those values can shift, great things can happen on this planet. Okay, and this chart here, the birth chart of Canada Marches, of what's transpiring, what's going to come out of all of this tomorrow and after, and what's already came out of this, is all reflected in this chart. Okay, so yeah, Jupiter here in Pisces with Neptune and the Sun. So Jupiter and Neptune actually rule Pisces. Jupiter being the traditional ruler, and Neptune being the modern ruler. Um, Hundreds of years ago, Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto weren't visible, and with telescopes and all this kind of stuff, we found these planets, and so we've assigned them to certain signs. And yeah, so Pisces here, the last sign in the zodiac, it's completing something. It's a house of, a sign of undoings in some ways, because illusion, delusion, we could get caught up in those kinds of aspects, because Pisces really is the dream, the matrix, in even another way to look at it. Okay, reality. Now, I believe reality is a dreamscape, is a matrix, that it's not physical. The modern interpretation, because before we looked at Saturn and Capricorn more as reality. Now the modern view is Saturn, Capricorn is sort of more the illusion of reality, the perception of the physical properties, right? However, yeah. So Jupiter here is expanding this dream. Neptune, Neptune. I almost view Neptune as like God, and then comes the children, Uranus and Pluto, ruling the heavens and hell, I guess, or the underworld. And then from there, Uranus had, I believe, Jupiter and Saturn and the other planets as his children, Kronos. Now, those things aren't so important. I'm forgetting if Kronos was Uranus or if Kronos was Saturn. I feel like almost Kronos was Saturn, but I'm not really too sure. It's been a while since I looked at that stuff, and it's not so important to what I'm trying to get out of this chart. The sun, anyhow, the sun is in the sign of Pisces, so there's a lot going on. So the sun, yeah, at 7:15, he left just as the sun broke the horizon. Right? The sun is at 1 degree Pisces, and the house. Oh, the sun was not quite in the sky. I'm sure there was light on the horizon. Yeah. Ooh, I like that. There was light on the horizon. All these things are telling. Okay? Frig. Is that ever an inspiring thing to just kind of like realize in this chart the light was on the horizon. Yeah, James Topp, you are a legend, man. Um, you know, I'm not going to expand on Mercury because he's not really aspecting anything. Pluto, Pluto is at 27 degrees Capricorn. Pluto in 1776, when America got founded, was at this degree. In 1528, when the Spaniards took over the capital of the Aztec Empire, Acapulco, Pluto was at this degree. This degree in the Americas is known as the rise and fall of civilizations, because in 1776, when America got founded, it was in the decimation of the natives ruling over these lands, right? So, yeah, Pluto at 27 degrees Capricorn is the rise and fall of civilizations. The other thing I want to mention is leading up to the rise and fall of civilizations, in both cases, smallpox were being spread. It was in the years 1768 to 1775 that the blankets were being given to the natives with smallpox. And I'm not sure the delivery system that the Spaniards used, but that was also happening then. So I just wanted to give you that background on Pluto, because Pluto is a very important aspect here. And I'll just mention this. I mentioned this in the other videos. On the Friday, February 11th, Mercury was conjunct Pluto. Okay, right, like exact. And that's when Trudeau first started contemplating the Emergency Act, first threatened it. It wasn't until Monday that he called the Emergency Act, and Mercury was still right just about to exit Capricorn. So Mercury is the message, the messenger. The message was being announced that, you know, Canada will never be the same. Canada is not the same. We are in many ways under a dictatorship right now, and there is a major transformation, Pluto transformation, and changes happening on the surface level going on. And I even said this in another video, and I don't really like it, but in Winnipeg, they are not celebrating Canada Day. Winnipeg is in some ways the heart of this country. It's right in the middle, pretty much. You know, it might be Thunder Bay in the middle, but close enough. At the Forks in is where they normally celebrate Canada Day. They're calling it New Day this year, and like I said, I'm not. I've become patriotic when my government has attacked my country. I view patriotism right now as an armor, a line of defense for my rights and freedoms. And, you know, this New Day thing, maybe this is just my conspirator side of things, but I almost view it as the leftist cancel culture kind of thing that is an arm of the liberal party right now, working to destroy Canada as we know it. And but nonetheless, signs and symbols, right? That's what the point that I was wanting to make here. Signs and symbols is that in the heart of our country, they are celebrating New Day. Okay, and I was just talking about Pluto, where he is, and all that kind of stuff. So I think it is symbolic I just thought I'd put that out there. So anyhow, that's my video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I really liked looking at this chart after looking at these other charts. Yeah, check those other charts out too if you like those other videos. I mean, yeah, like, share, subscribe. See ya in Ottawa. Cheers.